All right, guys, let's focus on one more thing to do with jQuery, and then we're going to jump over to Bootstrap. And then once we get Bootstrap sorted out, which is going to involve a few projects, at least one that I want to do that I think would be pretty fun. Once we do that, we're going to get into PHP, which is going to be a relatively large section, probably the same size as HTML and JavaScript combined. So not too long, but long enough. And then we'll do one final project, and that will be that. So what I want to focus on this video is the CSS method. So let's target that input again, and then call CSS on it. Now this is a method that takes a dictionary, an object as a parameter. And in this object, we're going to type the names of the CSS properties and then the values. Now the values are most generally always going to be strings, but the names of them don't need to be encapsulated in quotations. So we can say background like this, and then this obnoxious shade of red. I'm going to save this and refresh, and we see that we've got that. Now to separate them, it's just a regular object that we're passing in. So we can set the padding in a string to 10 pixels. Save it and refresh, we've got our padding. Now here's the interesting thing. In CSS, when there's multiple words in something, it's separated by a dash. Now that won't work with JavaScript. I believe we've discussed this before. What we have to do is they've changed how this would be in this object to camel case. So for instance, if we wanted to set border color, rather than trying to type border dash color, which is going to cause problems, it's now camel cased. So like this. We're going to set it to black. Save it, refresh, and that has somehow screwed up, and it's comma, right? Missed a comma there. Save it, refresh, there we go. Now we've got a black border. And the same thing would be true for anything. If you wanted to set a background size, which in CSS would be separated by a dash, in JavaScript, it's again camel case. And then we set the property. Save it, refresh it. We will not get an error, but it also won't do anything because the background is a solid color. So that is the CSS method, and basically any property that you can think of from CSS should work in here. We could consult jQuery's documentation on this. And I'm not sure exactly how far down this page this should be. You can see font weight is valid background color, for example. But it doesn't really say what properties it supports. I would assume all of them. If you guys find any CSS properties that are supposed to be adopted by browsers that jQuery does not have, I would recommend logging an issue on jQuery's GitHub, which you can find at jQuery. I'm just searching jQuery Git here. So if you go to github.com/jQuery/jQuery, this is the jQuery library. It's the source code repository. So if you find any problems with jQuery while you use it, jump over to this page, go over to issues, and you can create a new issue there and let them know. There's already a bunch of open ones. So yeah, I guess before you create a new issue, just check over here and see if any issues that are currently open are what you were going to log, in which case maybe just comment on that one. So guys, we are done with jQuery, which I mean, it's awesome for me because now I can destroy this entire page, which It just looks terrible anyway. And in the next video, we're going to get started with Bootstrap.